Hello dear Titanic builders. So the main idea of my today's video is to present you the final prototype version of my Titanic hull support Magic Scale Modeling Pro edition. But let me show first, shortly remind you about first two versions. So what you see here, this is Titanic hull support set MSM BASIC. So it's mainly the whole, let's say, structure with support, with the LED support for two LED strips here. Just to show you, in this version I also reworked this extensions. You see now this, first of all, they're very nicely now defined. What is this? Is Stern, and this is like with two connectors. You will not be able now to miss which is Stern, which is bow. And also it has now this LED covers, and this is the same for the bow. So it's again this one pin, and also with this really nice cover for the LED strip. And this is MSM BASIC. So actually you can use it to have your own strip and in general as a support. So it's mainly replaced now old initial original version with support only for one LED strip. And as I said, also it will be upgrade for those of you who already has this original Titanic hull support LED set. It will be upgrade, which you could apply. It's almost like replacing whole this LED support structure, but still it's something like half of the kit you can reuse. Next set is Titanic hull support MSM LITE, and in this case it's already, we are talking about, so taking some components like this main board, for example, and these two speakers. Actually here I already pre-mounted them, and this is three main components which I used to, let's say, build adapters in this set. Let me a bit change the records. Okay, here we are from another records. So, and main idea of this light, so that you have this nice adapter for this board. It's nicely fitting there. And also in this case, in RIP 64, you have this holes which could be now used to put like this, to mount this adapter here. Yeah, and after this you have really nice access to all pins from the top, and yeah, you can connect everything. And for these adapters for the speakers, what you get with this kit, you get two of these adapter holders, so this one, and also two sets of this new connector RIP connectors. And actually, as you see, it's in principle symmetrical. You can install it like that, you can install in another direction, and in this case your speaker will look another port side. And this is top mounting, so you will have also two of that. You install it like that, and after this you put your speaker on top of that. And as you see, because it's universal connector, you also could install it in any, let's say, this section. And this is what, let's say, light kit contains. And you could still have as an add-on to this light kit and also to the Pro version, this is what I already shown on during my last video. This is remote switch on off. So this also you have option as an option. You can add it to this light set, and also on this RIP 064 you can install it here on another side. And after this, just here you connect. So you see here it's written input, so here in this case connect power supply, and here you connect later this board. It's also very easily, because here is the pin, here is the hole, so you wouldn't miss the polarity, so what is plus, what is minus. And that allows you to remotely switch on and off whole kit I will also show this once again when I will go to the Pro, how does it works. And this is, let's say, light set. Yep, just change the rockers again. And now let's come to the main, let's say, part of this video, to the 2 Pro version of MSN Edition. As I already mentioned, the main idea, of course, of the Pro version is to make accessible this main board and all other components that you could, first of all, if it's broken or whatever, replace it. And of course, another point that it could maybe later come new board with new functionality that you could also just replace it for the new board. But in this light edition, as soon as you install it inside the hull, yeah, so you put decks and so on, it's already mounted there, so you couldn't anymore access it. So the idea was just to, and I discussed it with the different people, how better to make this board accessible. And finally we come to the conclusion that actually the easiest way gonna be just to cut here, cut the hole and make a hatch here, and you can in this way easily access it from the bottom. And that's I showed this as was preliminary. That will be new section where you could install all that, and it will, in a Pro version, will replace this kind of this ribs, so between 54 and 84. Yeah, so this whole new section. And also what you should do, this is part of the hull I modeled directly from this Titanic, trumpeter Titanic hull. So what you would need to do, this kind of, it's 3D printed, but I use it also to cut it. And this hole, and later when you, let's say, install already and fixed all, this is gonna be like that. But what I also worked this from the previous time, as I said, this idea that this lead, I made it on magnets, and you see it's really nicely fit. It's like you can, here, I will remove it. So here, these magnetic sections, which you see here, so this has magnets, but you could also, using these screws, also adjust a little bit height. So you can really play around and just really make this hatch really in a level with your Titanic hull. And as you see, it's also big advantage, for example, using magnets. It's also could move something like 5 mm in bow stern direction, and also a little bit, so it means it could tolerate this alignment of, let's say, of this hole with with the ribs. Yeah, so this is also biggest advantage, which gives you more freedom using after when you cut. Yeah, and but of course your would be reasonable question, how really nicely to cut it. And here what you will get together with the Pro version, you will get this really nice cut template adapter and these 2 fixers. So idea, what you do here, you put your Titanic, so you install this set and you align this cut template relative to your support structure, to this ribs 64 and 74. Yeah, and now you just also fix it with the screws, and there it's really nicely tightly fixed, so you will not lose it. Yeah, okay, not going really well, but okay, some improvements I will still need to do. And what you still could use here, and it will be really convenient, so it's another product which many of you already know. This is Stand 200, and what you now could do, because you could not only use it for like to put it also like that, yeah, and also it will really nicely fit it. Yeah, and what you kind of could do now, either use directly this cut template and already cut it, or you just draw it. But as I said, due to this magnetic mounting of this hedge, so it could tolerate if you a little bit make this hole not exactly really nicely align it to ribs. So what I would suggest, for example, make it a little bit more here, cut to some distance, and after this you can already work really nicely, really make really nice edge to fit this lid height. Yeah, so this is how you could do this. And as I said, this will be included within Pro version. Yeah, let me put it back. Okay, so assuming you cut this hole, and now let's show me more about this, what is included here and what is functionality. So now let me show what is actually about this. This is actually the main part of this Pro kit. What you see here, you have like two, maybe better like that. You have like two platforms, two adapters. One is supposed to be for this main board. It also now has this new adapter, and as you see, it's pretty much a lot of space for new. It's easily could be, so now it could easily fit that, but it's still a lot of space, for example, to adopt later another card which could be also brighter, taller, also longer. And what's here, you can just install it here like that. Yep. It's also the stoppers, it will not go further. And you can now also fix it here with this let's say screw. That's something as I said, I also suggested you to work with, because it's much easier to work with this electric screw. Yep, it's in all cases it's a really nicely installed nut, so it's really nicely fixed. So it's already fixed, and you can from the bottom you have access to all pins of it. So okay, second tray is designed to handle, so this remote switch on off. You not necessarily could use it, but I think it's logical to have it if you already have all this functionality. It also now has new adapter, which is, yeah, you also could insert here, and also here you have this fixing screw. So that's this all screws there. Also, I will show now available when you go from this hole in the hull. Yeah, so you kind of connect it now with also screws that it's really nicely tightly fixed there. It's also not moving back and forth. It's okay. The third component, it's kind of power supply of the system. It's so this holder, and it has these 4 batteries, 4 AAA batteries pack. As I already also told, I discussed this with Richard from Magic Scale Modeling, and he approved usage of such 4 AAA or AA batteries pack to power supply, so their main board. And so here there are 2 switches. One switch here, which is actually, so this is main outcome. So this is if you don't want to use this on-off module, you can disconnect here, and you can also, let's say, directly, again, this is pin and hole, so you can directly connect your main board to this output. At the same time, of course, as I said, I think it's logical to use this, let's say, radio module, and it's here. You can also really nicely see, you can again connect it very carefully, but it's also pin and hole, so it's not, you will not miss polarity. So, and you then connect it here to power output. Yeah, and this switch actually, that's direction. So in one position, it's in top position, it's taking power from the battery pack, and in bottom, in this position, it takes power from whatever you connect to this power input, and this could be different options. I will come to that a bit later. Yeah, so and now you also the same, you connect your main board here with let's say pin and hole, so that's no possibility to miss, and it's again, so here input output. Yeah, so now you have like we assembled power supply of the main board. Yeah, there are two more switches. Actually, I pre-installed them, and if you interested, I will also include it in your order, because what was discussion with some people, idea was to use these switches to break kind of the connection to speakers. So idea that you, some people ask me, okay, they would like to have only lightning because it's also dynamic, something goes on and off with this Magic Scale kit, but they don't want to have sound. And idea was just simply easy. You can install this switch, make a break, install the switch, and you just simply could independently switch on and off each of these two speakers. But so far my main problem is to find really these connectors, because they in Magic Scale modeling they use 0.8 millimeter connector, yeah, GST connector, which seems to be really rare. I so far managed to find this female connector only from one China supplier. I ordered that, but I still couldn't find male adapter, male, that's corresponding second part. So that's why I couldn't so far provide this solution exactly in my kit. But at the same time, if you ready to, because idea would be also pretty in this case, if you do it yourself, you cut one wire and insert in this wire this switch, so just like breaking switch, and that's all. So if you're ready to do it yourself, I will also provide these two switches here, and you can do this yourself. So far I couldn't do it myself because I don't have these connectors to do this, to supply you like connector from the board to the switch, and so that later that you could simply here connect to the same connector this speaker 1 and 2 and just use it. So that's I couldn't do so far. Okay, so but let's take a look more on functionality. How does it work in a different, especially power supply options? Let me show how this everything would work with the batteries. So it's, as I said, it's top position, then it's you switch to the batteries, and I will connect now to the main board at least one speaker just to hear the sound. Okay, how to should be properly connected. Yep. And I also connect one. This is my own LED strip, which is actually the right temperature one, warm white. Actually, if you also need, you can get it from me. Yeah. So now we put it here, back, and see how does it work with, especially is in conjunction with this remote switch. So you go here, press it, and here it is. It's working, so it's now taking power from the battery. I'm not sure how long it could take, yeah, but at least if you want to show this your friends or whatever, of course, this is not an option for exhibition or whatever way you go, but for exhibition we will come now later for external power supply options, which you could connect here, and after this actually switch to this another position, and means when it is in this position it will take power from this input. Yeah, you see now it doesn't work because battery is switched off. Yeah, and so now we are coming to another power supply, external power supply options. And here actually I already announced, let's say, two possibilities, and I tested this as it works very good. So one possibility I want to put, so that's another would be question where to put it. You can technically have it on this hatch, or you can just simply drill yourself some hole somewhere already outside this hatch, and this is this magnetic, so and you just put it from the bottom, like it's only showing like also leveling, so with the hull itself. And this is like, as I said, it's very nice. And first of all, what I like, it's a really secure system, because if you use any kind of really connector, physical connector, which goes inside, what could happen when you take your Titanic from your stand, from display case, and forget to disconnect, this wire could push it back, and you can just simply drop whole your model, which could really damage. In this case, it stays pretty straight, but nevertheless, if you push it, it goes it disconnected. So in this case, you're completely safe from this unexpected, let's say, dropping of the model. And as I said, you can connect it so that it's just looking the down, and so looking just only this round looking outside of the hull, and you just simply connect. It's also rotatable. People who using this on blocks could also, because it will fit between the block, and the height is enough just to go, for example, between two blocks. Yeah, and let me show, so how does it work. So that's you also get it as an add-on to mine, so you can see use power bank. So this is 20,000 milliampere hours power bank. That's what you also will get in this case from me. So this also adapter with proper pin connector. So let's see, you connect it. So now, as I said, you installed somewhere here, you have like wire going here, and what you need to do is just, again, this is, you couldn't miss polarity because it's properly done pinhole. Yeah, so you now connect it. Yep. Okay, and see. Yep. Yeah, it works. You see, it works really great. Yeah, and at the same time, it's very nice and stable and safe. This is kind of external power supply option 1. Switch it off. Another power supply, external power supply options I worked on. I still a little bit need to work on location. I showed this last time. So this is this wireless energy emitter and receiver. An idea, this kind of external power supply option could be of particular interests for those who, as I said, built Titanic on these blocks, because this I will show now. So if you put, I will make these adapters also on this hatch, so it will be some kind of pocket. Now I just simply fixed with tape, but as I said, it will be really nice mounting for that. So it's just temporal solution now to show. Yeah, and so, and the second one, so this emitter you mount on one of the blocks. Of course, you should really nicely position it. 1, 2, it also tolerates some movement, but not much. But at least this 3 millimeter hatch is completely not a problem for this energy. It could be go to maybe even up to 1 centimeter distance. Yeah, and let me show how does it work in this case. So you have your lid, yeah, also, for example, yeah, like installed here. Yeah, so it's sitting there. It's really nicely fitting. Yep. And now, so this is your, again, external kind of external power supply. You need to connect it to this external power supply input. Yeah, so here you have your, I also will now simply take the power from this power bank. Yep. Now need just really nicely position it. Yep. Like that. And let's see, how does it work? Yeah, you see, it also works very nice. It's enough power to, yeah, as I said, you could a little bit move it, but not maybe too much. You see, especially by intensity of LED strip, that of course it's it's varying, but as you pre-position it, it will be still kind of okay. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, that's option 2. So you can also have it from me as an add-on. So it's, in this case, you will get like everything like this emitter and receiver with all connection necessary ready to, let's say, connect. Yeah, that's the main, let's say, functionality I wanted to show you. And as I said, it's almost ready. I still need to do some changes, and but at least you could already kind of starting ordering it. Of course, as soon as now electronic components, especially, of course, that's all going from China. I'm a little bit now short, for example, of this remote switch on-off model, because I ordered this from China, but they're still on their way. I expected this week, but maybe they will come next week. So that's why, as soon as goes about this plastic 3D printed part, that's of course pretty depends completely on me. I could at least estimate production time. As it goes about these electronic components, I'm not really. Oh, this one, okay, this at least easier because it's possible to buy in Europe, and this model I'm buying from China. But at least you can, as I said, you start already. I have already multiple pre-orders. I will start now. You can get with me, in touch with me in private messenger on Facebook, or if say what you like, what you don't like, because at the end, anyway, each kit it's personalized. It's not 100% could be the same. If you say you want something else, we can discuss it. Yeah, it will be some basic price, of course. I will publish this later. But as for this electronic part, as soon as I could produce all another plastic parts, all these mountings, everything. And as soon as I have all electronics, I could fast assemble that and send it to you. And yeah, so I'm really grateful for your understanding. Actually, that's what I also wanted to say, because today one more package from the first wave of orders has been delivered to modeler in USA, and I'm really grateful to all of you for your understanding, because almost all my, let's say, almost all people bought from me, you really nice people. You understand that as soon as I send it, it doesn't depend on me anymore. So it's could take pretty much time for delivery, but I do my best to first design it. And actually, it's also very nice that one of my friend, he came, and I really could say it now. This is really product made in Germany. Yeah, I also already have feedback from you, and I think I could say like that. It's really like German quality, and this is product made in Germany. And I do my best to deliver you best product, but as soon as I send it, I couldn't anymore influence anything. And even I send it with the best options with DHL, and even to USA with DHL Premium, so meaning priority error mail. But and DHL usually proceeds in 3 maximum 4 days before transferring to already corresponding national post system. In case of US, it's USPS. And after that, even already DHL could do nothing. I spoke already many times with DHL, and yeah, they said, okay, as soon as they kind of transfer it all information on to corresponding national systems, they also not anymore, they couldn't do anything. And that's already could take pretty while. But I'm really grateful to you for your understanding and your patience. And as also I get a reply, yeah, from people, yeah, it was long delivery, but it's definitely worth to wait. So regarding the quality and functionality of my product, so that's why I'm really looking forward for your feedback, your ideas, your suggestions. For all of you who has pre-ordered it or upgrades it, I will now start producing that, especially plastic parts. I'm waiting for electronics from China, and you still welcome, even if you already did pre-order, you're welcome to get in touch with me if you have any ideas, any thoughts. and all people who has not yet pre-ordered this Pro set, you or other sets, you are welcome to get in touch with me over my Facebook, or just will follow this link I will show now in this video, and order it and just discuss what you're interested. I'm very flexible. I'm very open to your ideas, suggestions. So you're really welcome. So see you soon, and looking forward to hear from you. Cheers.